Hey folks, thanks for joining us once again. Well, as you can see, I'm joined today by Andy, who's co-hosted many of my reviews over the years. We had to actually retreat to the garage today because
the weather is very ordinary outside. So.
Yeah, just as we'd set up. But anyway, the show must go on, as they say. And we're looking at a beer today that's, well, aside from being Australia's best-selling beer, is one that I previously reviewed 7 years ago now,
wow.
Believe it or not. Victoria Bitter, which now comes in at 4.9% alcohol by volume. And it's brewed and canned by Carlton and United Breweries, who are now owned by AB InBev. I think at the time of my review back in 2011, they were in the midst of being taken over by SAB Miller, and since then SAB Miller have been taken over by AB InBev, which is interesting. But in 2012, SAB Miller had Victoria Bitter reformulated and returned to its original ABV of 4.9%, because at the time I reviewed it, it had been reduced to 4.6, and there was a bit of a backlash to that.
There was, I remember reading about that at the time. Yeah, it didn't go down too well, did it?
So it's good to see in 2018 it's still at 4.9%. All right, so enough rambling about this, unless you had something to add there.
No, not at all. No, the VB, it's never really been a choice of mine, but I know it's a beer that was always in the fridge growing up at home. My dad used to drink it, and loves it, and he still drinks it today. I guess it's one of those beers, those great classic Aussie beers that, you know, I guess if you're a VB drinker, you're a VB drinker all the way through.
People are very, that drink VB are very passionate about it.
Yeah, that's it. So, but yeah, no, I'd be keen to, I haven't tried it since they've reformulated it back to the original. Yeah. So,
all right, so let's quench our thirsts with a VB. I'll pour it out into these chilled glasses here. Okay, so let's have a look at the appearance. Well, yeah, it's a very clear golden yellow colour, quite effervescent.
A lot of head
happening there. It's a very active beer, as Jez would say. Yeah, good 3 fingers of bright white head.
Yeah, easy.
All right, so let's check out the aroma. I think it's a very, like 4X Bitter, it's a very typical Aussie beer aroma. There's a bit of that wet cardboard smell there.
Yeah, it's not overpowering.
But it's not, overpowering, yeah.
No, in any way, is it?
But definitely has that distinct aroma about it. All right, well, we've talked about the appearance and we've talked about the aroma, and that can only mean it's time for the most important part of the review, the taste test. So, cheers to you all, folks. Let's dive in. Okay. So what are your thoughts, Andy?
It's actually not too bad.
It's surprising, isn't it?
Nicely chilled in an icy cold style. I think it's sort of, whether it's been reinvigorated from being poured out of the can.
Well, I always think pouring it from the can, you know, always does help things. It reinvigorates the flavour. But,
it's not too bad at all.
It's not too bad. You know, up front you're getting, those subtle sweet malts happening there.
Yep. You can taste
it finishes quite crisp and clean. And although it's called Victoria Bitter, there's no real bitterness to talk about.
No.
Yeah. All right, well, let's have another gulp.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely holding that taste profile, as I often say. As far as the body goes, it's somewhere between light and medium. it's very drinkable. I mean, it's certainly something that you could session.
Definitely.
At 4.9%
Yeah,
ABV.
nothing offensive about it, I don't think.
No, it's very inoffensive as far as the flavour goes. I'm finding it, very hard to kind of, find anything bad to say about it. I mean, it's not what I would call world class. It's not something that you could put up against, like a German lager.
Oh, no, not a top shelf type of.
Yeah,
beer.
but for what it is, it's decent.
Quite surprising, actually. I'm surprised by that. So,
yeah. Well, I think in the time that SAB Miller and then AB InBev have sort of taken over the operation of Carlton United, I think they're really starting to get things right. I mean, there's a lot more in the way of, I think, consistency with their brews, because often I drink a lot of Australian beers, and sometimes it would be a pleasant experience. Other times,
not so much, eh?
Not so much. I mean, there's nothing quite like the VB headache that you'd probably remember from your youth.
From your youth, yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, I think that's one of the first beers I probably tried growing up, the VB, and I notice a lot of the young people of today, seem to quite like it.
Yeah, they're really
quite popular with the young people too. So, I guess it's got a pretty broad market with the young people and the people that have been drinking it for 40 years, I guess, plus.
Yeah, it's actually quite intriguing how they're embracing it. All right, well, it's probably time to wrap this up and give it a score out of 10 for 2018. So we'll have one last gulp. Okay, well, all in all, it's not too bad. I mean, it's certainly nothing earth-shattering, but it's surprising just how good it's actually tasting.
Very drinkable. Look, I think by the end of this, I'm going to give it a score a little bit higher than what I thought initially. So
I'd probably give it for 2018. I think in 2011, I gave it 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I was going to say 7 actually. So
7?
For myself,
Wow.
Yeah, not... Whether, as I said, whether it's sort of been reinvigorated with the pour, it's really chilled. I think probably that's the way to have it. I know I've had this in the past with it not being entirely chilled, and it was nowhere near this. So that makes the difference. But
I'll often find that when you order a beer at a restaurant, let's say it's a bottle, they'll bring it out to the table. Let's say years ago it was a VB. I'd find that it wasn't properly chilled, and it spoils it. It spoils it. Yeah, they're brewed to be consumed at a particular temperature, and you find at a lot of these restaurants and cafes they never serve it right. They never quite get it right. They never have it in the fridge long enough at the right temperature, and it's always
makes all the difference, I think. So especially with this one, I find. So
All right, well, there you go, folks. So I'm sure if you're in Australia, you've checked this out, but if you're from anywhere else in the world, you might find it a bit difficult to procure. But I have seen overseas reviewers review this, so it does make its way abroad at least. But certainly worth checking out. Okay, well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again soon in another review. So until then, fare thee well, all.